Hello, hello! Well, welcome back to Silver Archer Tarot. I'm a Sagittarius with the tarot deck who is so excited to talk to you today about the potential for your relationship. So, who is this video for? If you are currently in a relationship, this video will give you insight into the energy you're bringing into the relationship, energy you need to release, as well as the potentials for highs and lows of the relationship. If you are dating somebody, then this will give you that same information, as well as if you have a crush or are single. If you are single and have nobody in mind, this will tell you about the potential for your next relationship, and also just tell you in general, what is the energy you're putting out there? What are some things you might need to release in order to attract that next relationship? So really it is for any relationship status. We are going to be doing a 7-card spread today. I'm actually combining 2 spreads from this book, The Guided Tarot by Stephanie Capone. If you are interested in tarot, I highly recommend this book. She goes through each tarot card, tells you the meanings, numerology, things like that. I've gotten several friends to purchase this book already. But we're going to combine 2 of the spreads that she has. So one spread she has is your potential relationship, and we're going to start with these 5 cards. So we have the first card is me, your current relationship energy, or the energy you're emitting around love and relationships. What love asks of me. Next, a message from the universe. Number 4, an action to take. And then 5, what to release. So what is taking energetic space? What is getting in the way of your relationship reaching its fullest potential? We're then going to take 2 from her existing relationship spread. Specifically, we're going to look at the highest potential of the relationship and then the lowest potential. So it could be a weak spot, an area that needs work, or just something to keep in mind. So again, this reading is for if you are currently in a relationship or not. I think both will provide valuable insights. So we have 3 oracle cards that you're going to use to choose which pile you're in. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Now these oracle cards are from the Spirit of the Animal Oracle, but for today's tarot reading, we're using my favorite deck, the Everyday Witch Tarot. All right, so pile 1, we have the Butterfly, Rebirth. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change, you have brilliance to share with the world, love every part of your journey. For pile 2, we have the Hummingbird, Miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings, spread the miracle of happiness. And then for pile 3, we have Owl, Magic. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision. You can see through deception. Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up, magic and wisdom are your birthright. Okay, so as you're choosing your pile, please think about the person and the relationship that is relevant to you here. This is romantic relationship, if I did not say that already. Or if you're single, I just want you to think about your future partner. If you need additional help, I will also pull sun signs for you. So go ahead, pause the video if you would like, and then use the timestamps to go to either pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. If you need extra help, I'm going to go ahead and pull some sun signs and assign you to a group. Okay, so for pile 1, we have Capricorn, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. Wow, all of our fire signs are in this butterfly group. Group 2, we've got Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Pisces. Which means lastly for our pile 3, we've got Gemini, Scorpio, Libra, and lastly, Cancer. Okay, so if you'd like to go by sun signs, go to your assigned pile and I will see you there. Hello pile 1, if you chose the butterfly or rebirth as your oracle card, then this reading is for you. Additionally, if you use the extra help with the signs to assign which pile you went to, then you are Capricorn, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. If you are not one of those signs, it's totally fine. This is just extra help for people who don't like making decisions. I'm usually in that camp. Okay, so I've already shuffled these. We are going to pull our 7-card spread about the potential for your relationship. All right, so what messages does group 1, whoa, that one almost came out. What do they need to hear? Okay, we're gonna pull this for 1 and for 2. Oh, wow, okay, that's odd. I don't know why my ring just fell off. Okay. 1, 2, we're gonna take 3, 4, 5. And then potential high and potential low in the relationship. Okay, let's spread this out a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so let's flip it over. You've got 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 2 of Cups, the Magician, 10 of Wands, and Page of Swords. Okay, so again, we're going to be going through the potential for this relationship. So the first card we have here with the 2 of Pentacles, this represents you. So this is your current relationship energy, or the energy that you are bringing when it comes to love and relationships. And the 2 of Pentacles is a great card to have for this. The 2 of Pentacles represents this perfect balance. This perfect balance of, yes, I'm caring for my relationships, but I'm also not forgetting who I am. Yes, I am working, but I am also playing. Yes, I'm planning for the future, but I'm also living in the moment. So really, I think that is great energy for you to have. I think you're in a very, very healthy space when it comes to potentially adding someone new to your life, or if you're in a relationship, then I think you've been maintaining a really great perspective, knowing that a relationship is not everything. You are still your own person. But also giving enough energy to that relationship. So that's wonderful. That is a great place to be. Because you're so solid, we're just gonna move on to the next one. So what love asks of you? We've got the 2 of Swords here. So in order to continue to align with the relationship that's right for you, whether it's one you're currently in, one that's just beginning, or one that you are seeking or manifesting, love is asking you to trust the process. Love is also asking you to trust your gut. Your gut has not led you wrong so far. Well, okay, you might be saying, yeah, it has. I've dated like not great people longer than I should have. But you've grown from that experience, right? That has, if anything, just refined your intuition. And I would be willing to bet that even if you stayed in a relationship with someone for too long or dated them for too long, I feel like you probably knew in the back of your mind that it wasn't the right relationship for you, or that you shouldn't have been dating them for that long. So this card is saying, trust your intuition, trust your gut feelings. Even if it doesn't make sense. Like, I think especially if you've got, I feel like in every friend group, there's the friend that like just believes the absolute worst in the person you're dating. Sometimes for no reason, just because they are like jaded from love and dating. And I think sometimes, at least I've experienced, sometimes people try to make a bigger deal out of something than it is. So you'd be like, oh yeah, like they're busy today, they're out of town, you know, we're gonna catch up tomorrow. And they're like, what do you mean, they're not texting you all day? And you're like, no, they're busy. Well, if they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to text you, they would. And it's like, no, we have an agreement in our relationship. Like, I trust them, they're busy, I will catch up with them at the end of the weekend. Like, we established our communication expectations, you know, beforehand. And so even if you've got someone around you who is saying something like that, I would say trust your intuition. Now, on the flip side, if you're like, we communicated that they would be texting and they're not texting, I feel like something's off, then like also listen to that as well. Really, this card is saying, trust your intuition. It's not going to lead you astray. You've been on the right path. I would imagine that recently, since we've already got one sword there in the target, I would imagine that recently you have felt some sort of confirmation that you are on the right path. And so this is asking you to continue trusting that process. Continue trusting yourself, continue trusting the universe. That's what is meant for you will find you. So that is what love is currently asking of you. A message from the universe about the potential of your relationship. I think this is a relationship. I know I just used the example that like we've all got that one friend who's trying to like break you up for no reason. But I think this is a relationship that people are going to be really happy about for you. Like, I think it's a relationship that when people see you together, they're going to be like, this makes so much sense. Like, I am so happy they found one another. I genuinely think everyone is going to be like, oh my God, like, wow, they found their person. Like, this is it, this is right, and they're gonna celebrate that. I think it's gonna be no surprise. I mean, if you've been single a long time, people might be like, oh my God, yay, finally. But when they see you two together, it's gonna be no surprise that like, oh my God, like these two were meant to be, they were meant to find one another. Yeah, I think your friends are gonna see it, I think your family's gonna see it, I think colleagues are gonna see it, I think everyone is, like, I think it's quite obvious the match that you two are. And there's no doubts or questions about it. So this is a piece of encouragement for you, whether you are currently in this relationship or seeking a relationship, you're manifesting a relationship. The potential for this relationship is that it is someone that everyone is like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. They're great together and they want to celebrate that and celebrate you. You and them. Okay, so next we are on action to take, and you got the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a great card to have in a relationship reading. And really this is asking you to continue doing what you've been doing with this Two of Pentacles, right? You've already been very balanced in your approach to relationships, to dating, to life. And so now this card is simply asking you that in your relationship also take a balanced approach. And so what I think this could also mean is if your person says, hey, I really enjoy cooking, if it's good with you, I'll cook and you do the dishes. And if you're good with doing the dishes, then this card is saying do that, but don't feel like, oh my God, I need to cook, because I mean, if you want to cook, obviously like express, hey, like I will also cook. But if that's something you don't want to do, don't feel some weird pressure like, oh my God, I have to do it. Because what we're seeing here actually is two people combining their strengths and weaknesses to be very complementary to one another. If one person really likes driving and the other person is down with like, yeah, I'm the one giving directions, like go with that. Don't follow if it's like a societal norm or standard of like, oh, the man drives and the woman is the passenger princess. Like, if the woman in the relationship wants to drive and the guy is good giving directions, like, go with that. Go with what your guys' strengths and weaknesses are. What is complementary to one another? Or if you've been told, oh my God, women need to be the one that's cooking, a woman needs to take care of like her partner in that way, but your man likes to cook, let him do that. And of course, this does not have to be just like, you know, male-female relationships. We can be talking about any gender, any combination of relationships here. That's just an example. So in addition with being balanced like you are in life, be balanced as well with this relationship and know that, one, you no longer have to do everything. So I think this is also saying you need to like accept help, especially if you have been chronically single and you are used to being the one who has to do literally everything in life. You're the one who has to do the grocery shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, filling the car up with gas, washing the car, remembering everyone's birthdays, getting the cards out in the mail. Whatever that looks like for you, this card is also saying when your relational partner is offering to help you out, take them up on that. You should be a team. In a relationship, you're a team. You're no longer one person. You're combining into two, right? Or you can think of it as you're going from a team of one to a team of two. So you can split up tasks. You can split up responsibilities. And again, go by your strengths and weaknesses. I have a friend who, she and her husband talk a lot about essentially their strengths and weaknesses, and they assign letter grades to it. So they'll be like, oh, for me, this is an A thing, but this other task is like a C for me. And so one thing, her and her husband, neither of them like mowing the lawn. And so they decided, we're gonna hire a lawn guy. And then they end up moving to a house that like doesn't have grass in the backyard, so it made it even easier. But they were like, okay, this is something that's neither of our strengths. We're going to hire someone to do it. Versus other things, they go, oh, okay, you really like cooking? Okay, I don't really care either way. So if you want to be primary cook and then I do it, you know, once or twice a week, you know, that works for us. So again, this is saying you've got balance in your life as an individual. You now have to figure out what that balance is as a couple. And really that just takes communication, it takes honesty, and it will take some adjusting. But that's okay, right? Because that's the point of being in a relationship, right? Is not having to do life on your own anymore. Yeah, that might be something that is new to you, but it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. Okay, next we are on what to release. And this is very interesting that we have the Magician here. The Magician is a card that I'm afraid to describe it because then I don't want you to go, oh, I need to do the opposite of that. Let me just talk out loud for a minute and then we'll figure out what the message is for you with this. But the Magician card is, okay, you know what? I've already got it. This is so aligned with this Two of Cups. This is saying you don't have to do everything by yourself. Like, I think you've gotten to the point where you very much know your strengths and weaknesses, but because you've been on your own, even your weaknesses, you still have to like do that thing. Again, whether it's cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, the admin stuff of life, whatever it is, you've had to do it all. And this card is telling you, baby, you are about to enter an era where you no longer have to do it all. So you need to release the hold you have. Yes, you are still an amazing person. Yes, you have developed all of these skills. You've developed this sounds weird to say like expertise in areas, but like you know how to run your life. And you're good at it. You are. And you know how to make a phone call to insurance and haggle with the cable company or the Wi-Fi company to get a better deal. And you're used to doing everything on your own, and you are good at it, right? You're running your life, you're good at it. But you're getting ready to be able to release that. You're getting ready to be able to release you having to have a hand in everything in your life, being strong for everything in your life, it all being your responsibility. And I think this is a very significant thing for you, because that message of like balance has come up basically 3 times in this reading. And this last one is a major arcana card. And so I think this is a big deal for you. So I don't know if maybe you have just been single for a very long time, and so being independent is really part of your identity, whether you like it or not, right? It's something you've had to do because you're alone. Or maybe you have had poor relationships in the past and you're like, the only person I can rely on is myself. But this is telling you that the potential for this relationship is that you get to let go of that. You're going to be a part of a team instead of a one-man show having to run every single thing. And so it might even be surprising. I think this will be surprising for you, and maybe right now you're like, I don't believe it. Maybe you've had like poor relationship examples in your life, and so you're like, no, my mom or dad, like one of them was still running everything. Like one of them did work and do the chores and take care of the home and take care of the kids and et cetera, et cetera. But your relationship is not going to be like that. It's going to be very balanced. It's going to be very, very balanced. And here we have the highest potential for your relationship, 10 of Wands. You guys are going to get through some difficult things together. But also, you don't have to carry these 10 wands alone anymore. You don't have to carry these 10 wands, or these 10 broomsticks, I guess, technically in this card. You don't have to make this journey alone anymore. So a strength of this relationship is going to be, there's going to be 2 of you, but in order to reach that high potential, you have to let go of your grip that you have to do everything. And that you have to be the one who's emotionally carrying the relationship, and you're the only one who's planning dates, and you're the only one who is checking in on one another. You're the only one who's in charge of your guys' social calendar, or reminding them, hey, no, we actually have this event that we committed to with these people in our lives. Like, you do not have to carry all that anymore. But you do have to let someone in if they are offering to carry some of that weight. You do have to let them in. So that is what you're going to need to do, okay? You're going to need to get into your 2 of Cups energy and say, we are a team. We are complementary. You're a team of 2 instead of a team of 1. And you're going to be able to carry so much more weight. I'm sure you've heard before, I wish I remembered the exact, but there's this like analogy, saying, phrase, I don't quite know what it is, parable, I don't know. But it's like 2 horses can carry more than just double of what 1 horse can carry. And then 4 horses can carry more than just 4 times what 1 horse can carry, or double of what 2 horses can carry. Basically, with each new person, it's not just, oh, I can do double, but it's like we can actually do so much more because we're here doing it together. And so I think that's going to be a big lesson for you, and also a huge potential for you. Also, fascinatingly, let's just go back to the card that started it all. Rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. You can reinvent yourself, my butterfly group 1s. Even if you've been the independent queen, you no longer have to be that. You can now be part of a team, because your partner is one who's going to be able to pick up the slack. They're going to be able to take some of your burden. But in doing that, you will have to change and you will have to let them in. You're going to have to let them take some of this. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, a beautiful potential that you guys have. You need to work on letting them in with that. And maybe some of you are screaming at me and you're like, I would gladly let someone take half this burden. I think in practice you might find it a little challenging. Doesn't mean you can't do it. I fully believe that you can do it. I know you can do it. You're going to do it. But I think sometimes things are easier said than done. Especially when it's something so different, right? If you've been, again, single for a long time or have experienced really crappy relationships, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got someone. Forgive me if you're not a Swiftie, but what's immediately coming to mind is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. In her former relationships, she had people who were like sort of famous in their own right, but like not on her level. And then with Travis, he had made a complete huge name for himself, right? Super Bowl champion. So he was big. He was big in his own right, and they came together. And instead of it being, oh, there's Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, it was like, oh my God, look at this like power couple that's coming together. And he was able to come in and actually make her feel safe when none of the other, I mean, in my opinion, having just a parasocial relationship with her, none of the other guys were able to make her like physically feel safe if they're like out in a crowd, right? And so I don't even know if Taylor knew she was carrying those burdens. But then once Travis came in and was able to lift those from her, it was like, oh my God, right? This is so right. And we've loved him since the beginning. And they genuinely seem like a well-matched pair. So yeah, forgive me for my Swiftie tangent there. Okay. We now have to talk about the like potential like low point in the relationship or something that might need work. So here we have the Page of Swords. Page is very kid-like energy. And with Page of Swords, with this being like words, communication, I think there's the potential that, or something that you guys might need to work on is your communication with one another and your expectations for one another. And just because you know that, okay, this person is going to like take some of the burden, like you still are going to need to like state that expectation. Or if they offer to take some of that burden and maybe you say no, but you change your mind, you need to like say, I changed my mind. You can't expect someone to read your mind. Also, I think this could be the potential for getting into little fights that like don't really matter. Again, I think this is around communication, expectations, how you're communicating the things that you say. So again, I would just say be aware of any unspoken expectations. Earlier in the reading, I gave the example of like if someone is out of town for a weekend and they say they're busy and you guys agree, okay, we'll do, you know, a phone call tomorrow night or whatever. If you're actually not okay with that, you need to express that. You can't think that, oh, well, if he wanted to, he would text me. Or he, she, they, whoever. If they wanted to, they would text me. If they wanted to, they would check in. If they were thinking about me, blah, blah, blah. When really they might be going, hey, we agreed that I'm busy. I don't want to overwhelm them. Yes, I'm thinking about them and oh my God, I'm collecting all the stories to tell them at once. Like this is going to be so good, right? So make sure you actually mean what you say. And if you change your mind, express that. Express that. There's no need to be a child. There's no need to be a middle schooler or a high schooler in this situation and be like, well, you should have known. Well, you should have known I wanted to be texted. Did you say that? Or did you come up with a different plan? Okay. So that's just something you might need to be careful of is specifically communication aspects and communicating expectations. Okay, I think I'd like to pull an animal oracle. Here we've got butterfly rebirth. I think that's very much you in this relationship. I'd also like to just get a general card about your relationship together. We'll see if that works. Let me open this up, grab the cards. Okay, so here are the cards. They are too big for me to shuffle. So I'm just gonna place it down and cut the deck. So this is going to be group 1, just a message or insight, encouragement about the energy of this relationship. Okay, Eagle. Mastery. You're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Okay, so what I get from this, let go of the past and soar, I think this relationship is going to teach you that you don't have to do things alone, even if that has been your past. Whether you've been in relationships or single, I just think you have felt like you've had to do things alone, or you've been really the one carrying the burden. And so with this relationship, it's going to teach you that you don't have to do that anymore, right? This is the new future. You get to soar when you're not burdened by having to carry, right, all these broomsticks. You can actually fly on the broomsticks. You can actually soar. When you've gone through this transformation from the caterpillar to the butterfly, you can now soar. It also says you are guided by the winds of spirit, right? The second card in this reading was about following your intuition with that Two of Swords. Following your intuition about the relationship, that you are on the right path. And again, I think maybe you've gotten confirmation recently that you are on the right path. And confirmation could be so many things. It could be angel numbers. I'm like really big into angel numbers. I have been relying on them quite a lot lately. If you don't know, angel numbers is if you see the time when it's like 11:11 or 3:33, 4:44. It doesn't have to be on the time. You can see these numbers anywhere on like a license plate. I'm trying to think of more context for that. Like maybe you stop a video and it's at a specific time, but you're seeing these 3 numbers. Go ahead and look those numbers up, because like 111 means something different than 222 versus 3, 4, 5, etc. So there's different meanings, but angel numbers might be something that you can look at to confirm. It's possible that you do have an animal that you look at for confirmation. That might be why you chose the butterfly. Maybe a butterfly is a symbol for you, or a sign that you're on the right track. Maybe an eagle is. This is gonna sound silly, but in the past couple weeks, I was shopping for a car, and as I was test driving one car, there was a butterfly outside. And for me, I don't know why, I just went, yep, this is confirmation, this is the car. This is the car for me. So random, don't know why I felt that, but lately I've just been feeling butterflies are a sign that I'm on the right track. I also wonder if there's been something that you've been excited about lately. Like, I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity you learned about, whether it's like a social opportunity. Maybe you learned about, I don't know, a book club you can join, or you just learned, hey, your town has an improv group and you're kind of intrigued by that. Or someone new came to your workplace. Like, I don't know, I just think if there's something that you've been like really excited about lately, and you're like, oh, I kind of can't wait to do that. I even think that could be confirmation that you're on the right path. I don't know, I truly believe that God and the universe give us desires of our heart for a reason. And I think we get excited for a reason. I think we're drawn to things for a reason. So yeah, I would say just follow your intuition. And you are guided by the winds of spirit. Your spirit guides got you. Your spirit guides got you. The universe has you. You're on the right path. And you're on the right path to this person, to finding this person, to finding this relationship. And if you're already in this relationship, then this is confirmation that you are on the right path. And I think if you are already in a relationship, the two of you together, you are going to reach this new potential that you would not have been able to if you were still single or with somebody else. Like, I think back to that example of two horses can carry much more weight than just double of one horse. It's like you guys are reaching new potentials. My camera's just been stopping lately, I don't know why, but you guys are reaching new potentials that you could not have reached individually. You could not have reached with another partner. The way in which you two support and complement one another is taking you to new heights. And I think that's why so many people in your life are so supportive of this and excited about this for you, is because they can see it. They can see how you make each other better. Not to say that any of you were lacking or bad in the first place, but you help each other reach these new potentials. You help each other soar. You help each other grow. Oh my goodness, pile one or group one. I'm really excited for you with this. If you've got your person already, please tell us down in the comments below. If not, is there anything that's been assigned to you recently? Are butterflies a sign? Eagles? Angel numbers? Are any of those connecting with you recently? Or another sign that I didn't mention, right? That can help people if you leave it, if someone sees in the comments, oh, this other thing could be a sign. But of course, you don't have to comment. Hey, up to you. Alrighty, group one, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hyping the video. It's basically like positive word of mouth to YouTube. It says, hey, I recommend this video. Please subscribe to see more videos from me. I put out one a week. In the past couple weeks, we have done more detailed deep dives about your person's personality and then also why they are attracted to you. And in those messages, there's also some context about how you're meeting them. So if you have not met your person yet, I recommend going and checking out those videos to gain some insight there. Alrighty, thank you so much, Pile 1. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Hummingbird Oracle card as your card, then you are in the right group. Additionally, if you needed the extra help and you preferred to be assigned to a group, then you are Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius, or Taurus. If you are not one of these signs, don't worry about it. That is simply extra help for people who don't love making decisions on this. Now, I was very surprised in group 1, their Oracle card was very relevant to the reading. So why don't we go ahead and read it? Just to set the stage for today. I don't know what your cards are going to be, obviously, but who knows? Maybe we were all drawn to this card for a reason. So, Hummingbird Miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Okay. So, off the bat, I am getting joyous, sun vibes. Like, the sun is a card in tarot and it's about being your authentic self. I'm definitely getting that from this group. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. I imagine you're someone who, like, your laugh is infectious, your smile is infectious. People love the energy that you bring. And I think it's also possible, though, that some of you in this group, you felt like your light has been dimmed lately, whether that is in relationships or due to life circumstances. Life is tough and can throw us some really terrible curveballs sometimes. And so it's also possible that some of you in this group are not really feeling your best, feeling your most joyful or positive self. But this card is just to confirm for you and remind you who you are and the joy and light that you do bring to the world. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and start pulling our cards. So as a reminder, this is going to be a 7-card spread. We're going to see the potential for your relationship. I've already somewhat shuffled these cards, so now we are just going to pull our 7 cards and then get ready for the reading. So what does group 2 need to hear about the potential of their relationship? Okay, I'm gonna pull that one because I feel like that was coming out. We're gonna take that as card number 2, card number 3, card number 4, ooh, 5, 6, 7. We have 2 more. I will just keep those there and see what they say. Any additional messages? Okay, so let's flip these over, see what we got here. We have the Fool. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Alrighty. Page of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. Okay, should we also just check these underlying things? Death and Page of Swords. Okay. So honestly, this just confirms what I was saying at the beginning. I think you have been in a situation recently that is dimming your light. You are not your full self. We'll try to gain some insight into this, but I think the potential for this next relationship is going to be a brand new chapter for you with this Death card right here. I don't know if I said these bottom 2 were Death and Page of Swords. Okay. Before I get started, I want to say, take what resonates, release what doesn't. And also this is going, I can already see this is like a kind of specific message. So if you're like, this does not resonate with me at all, then pick a different pile. And I'm just, a tarot reader on YouTube. So when I'm suggesting things, of course, filter it through your own perspective and life experience. Let me actually move these to the side for right now. Okay, so first we've got your current relationship energy, or the energy you're emitting around love and relationships. So I kind of feel like there's potentially 2 different energies here. One energy could be, I think you're thinking about leaving a relationship or have just left a relationship and you now feel free from that. And you're like, I am starting on this new journey. I am out of that toxic relationship. I guess it could also be, again, I feel like life has been hard recently. So it could be just, okay, I'm releasing that chapter and I'm ready for what the universe has for me. So it could have been a relationship. It could have just been the curveballs that life unfortunately throws at us where you're like, I'm releasing that, I'm moving on. If you're not really vibing with the, oh, I just like left a relationship kind of a thing, I think in general, you just have this very like happy-go-lucky attitude when it comes to relationships right now. You're like, hey, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I think you're very much like, I'm going to live my life. And if a relationship still comes my way, amazing. And if it doesn't, I'm still having a blast by myself. And I'm going to enjoy my life and I'm going to have fun for a little bit. Yeah, I just really think y'all have been through something recently. This is your current relationship energy, and Okay, I see that she actually does have one foot still on the cliff. And so I'm actually wondering if you're like not quite in that energy yet. But maybe that's what you've been wanting to do. You've been wanting to say, screw it, I'm leaving this behind. I'm moving forward now. So it's possible you have not quite made that leap yet, but I think that's where you want to go. I think there's definitely a little bit of hesitancy there because immediately this next card, what love is asking of you, is to leave any toxic situations you're in. So we've got the Eight of Cups here. So this could be if you are actually in a current relationship. This card is saying, baby, I think it's time to leave that relationship. Of course, if you're like, I'm dating a great person, then this reading probably isn't for you. But if you were watching this as a Hail Mary to say, okay, well, what do the tarot cards think? And if this is just confirming everything you already thought, then I think this person or this place or this workplace, like, you need to leave it. Now, if you're like, I'm single, I don't have anyone to leave, are there any situations in your life that have been incredibly emotionally taxing that you just need to, like, again, leave behind? Say, like, I'm done with this. I'm not putting any more energy into this. I know when it's time to walk away. Examples could be extra work projects you've taken on. This could be community things you've taken on, even if it's something that's supposed to be fun, like I joined a book club, I joined a small group through church, I'm taking this art class, I'm taking this hip-hop class, oh, I'm teaching fitness classes at the Y. Whatever it might be, I think there's something that you need to leave, and I think it's going to come to mind. Like, I think there is something that it's not worth any more energy. Like, I see you've put a lot of energy into this, and maybe it's like an opportunity you were like praying about and asking about for so long, but the fact that it's draining you and you're feeling like, I actually don't think this is the right path for me, you need to leave. And I know you've heard this saying all the time. It's not rejection, it's redirection. And even when we go down paths and decide, you know what, this isn't the path for me, that is still important information for us to know where you're going next. My first job, I thought it was at the type of workplace I really wanted. It was a smaller place, and that's exactly what I thought I wanted. And upon working there, I went, oh, I actually want to be at a bigger place with more resources. And so yeah, after 2 years, I was like, okay, we are switching paths. And yeah, sometimes it's kind of a bummer to be like, wow, I thought I wanted this like for so long and now I'm switching. But also, wouldn't you rather quit now and find what's meant for you? Which I think other paths are meant for us as well. I think it's all important for our journey, right? The Fool right here is all about, like, we're on this journey. But wouldn't you rather know it now than sink another 10, 20 years into it? Or let's say you put a couple months into this. Instead of spending the rest of your year putting more energy into it, wouldn't you rather stop now and, like, move on to the next thing instead of waiting with this? So love is asking you right now to leave the thing you know you're supposed to leave, to quit, to stop. Again, this could be the relationship you're currently in. It could be a situationship. If you've got someone that has been kind of orbiting you, you've been on again, off again, it's time to finally close that door. If the relational component is not really resonating with you, then again, this could be like some other sort of like social commitment, community commitment, whatever this thing that's been dragging you down for months. Like, it's time to let it go. And it could even be like, it could be something like resentment, just like negative emotions or energy that you have attached to what you've been going through, what you've been put through. Like, it's time to let that go. Because the message from the universe, by the way, this Page of Wands, is that how to say this. You need to let go of whatever this negative energy is, because you're going to need your intuition. Because your intuition is going to draw you on this path, and it's this path that you didn't even realize was there that's going to lead you to your person and to like where you're supposed to go next. Like with the Page of Wands energy, it's very much, oh, I'm starting with my journey. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, this thing is like catching my eye. There's this curiosity. Let me go follow this curiosity. And if our mind is so bogged down with negative emotions, negative people telling us what we are and what we're not, what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, then there's no room. There's no room to listen to our intuition and our curiosities and our positive emotions. With the hummingbird, I think, again, you're being reminded, you're a positive, joyful person. You're a joy to this world. You're a light to this world. People love being around you. And if you've got people around you saying that they don't like being around you, you need to find a different room, because it's a them problem. It's not a you problem. You do not have to change. You are wonderful. You are joyful. Right? Spread the miracle of happiness. Like, that is who you are. And whatever situation you've been in where someone is either trying to tell you you're not, or again, you've had life circumstances that have made you feel like you are not that person anymore, you are that person. You just need to get into this different space, this different context. And again, I get, like, sometimes it's something you literally don't have control over, okay? I understand that. Sometimes it's something you literally have no control over. So if it's that, I just wonder if there's any way that you can either release the air of, this is so unfair, I had to go through this thing. Because I think that could be bogging you down. Sometimes we still got to go through hard things no matter what, right? Like, sometimes it's a situation that we put ourselves in, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes we just get dealt a really, really bad hand. And it's okay to have negative emotions about things. That is a-okay. But also there comes a point where you have to go, okay, right? We need to embrace this energy of the Fool and say, it's a new start now. I'm releasing these negative emotions, this negative energy, this unfairness, this injustice that I felt. And hey, I bet that all of these emotions are completely valid. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying at a certain point, it is important that we go, yeah, this is unfair, but I need to move forward. And in order to do that, I need to be my full self again. I need to have that joy back. I need to have that light back. So that you can hear yourself think. You can hear your feelings. You can hear that intuition. I've heard other tarot readers say, intuition whispers. And so, if there's so much noise in your life, you're not going to be able to hear it. So this message from the universe is saying, look, the right path is there for you. We're gonna catch your attention. We are. But in order for that to happen, we need you to slow down. You just slow down. Quiet the outside voices. Quiet, again, if there's inside voices that are like, this is unfair, this is messed up, negative emotions bogging you down. That's not to say you can't feel it, but we need to figure out a way to not have that be all-consuming all of the time. Now, what action is the universe asking you to take? Ace of Pentacles. Start a new journey. Start a new journey. Be open to new experiences. But with starting this journey, sometimes Ace of Pentacles can represent someone who's like new to a job, right? So maybe you've got an opportunity to pursue something new. Maybe it's something you've been a little nervous of. Maybe you've been excited, but you're also like kind of anxious. Or maybe you're excited, but you're like, I'm not qualified for it. This is your sign you are qualified for this. And this was created for you. This position, this opportunity, whatever it is, it was created for you. It doesn't have to be workplace, but it very much could be workplace related. I'm also wondering if it could be related to, like, I feel like we've talked about kind of like, I've been thinking a lot about health as we've been talking through these things, about how maybe there's been physical health things happening, and so it's affecting like your mental health, right? And like how you're talking to yourself, how you're perceiving things. And so maybe this is also saying, hey, this is a time to alter your mindset, to take this new perspective, which is going to lead you down this more like positive mental health journey, but you have to make that decision. But I think clearly there's an opportunity presented to you. I think you're aware of this new beginning, and I think it's really interesting. We've got several cards here that are basically like new beginnings, right? We've got the Fool, Ace of Pentacles, and Page of Wands. Eight of Cups, I mean, in this being the end, it's also a new beginning. The Death card as well. One door closes, another door opens, right? Like an ending is just the beginning of something else. And so the action step you can take is be open to these new experiences and say yes. And say yes, whether it's, okay, I'm going to move forward and I'm gonna do my best to drop these negative emotions that have been consuming me. And again, that's not to say those aren't valid. I fully believe you that they are valid. But at some point we also have to say, okay, this needs to start taking less space in my head and in my life. This could also be if you had to leave a toxic workplace, there's this new work opportunity. Or if you were leaving some volunteer or like community position, there is going to be something to replace that is going to be positive for you. Okay. Next we've got what to release. Again, I think there's a lot of hurt. This could be hurt related to your family of origin. I keep talking about health things because I have recently had a lot of hurt with my family of origin. We've been going through a lot of like major health. Multiple members have gone through very major health things, and so it's been really just hard on the entire family. So again, it could be something like that. If it's like your family's been going through a hard time, you know, the universe is saying, okay, it's time to reduce the amount of space this is taking up in your head and in your heart. This could also be if you're leaving this relationship that was making you feel small, making you feel like you're not, you know, your joyful self, making you almost feel like you are this like child that's like being scolded. It's time to release that and let go. Like, I think you need to like physically let go. You need to mentally let go to make room for the new. So that you can be your full self. Now, all of these things are going to bring you in line closer to your next relationship that is going to be positive, okay? I know there's been a lot of like, you need to let go of this negative, you need to start fresh, you need to listen to yourself, but it is going to lead to positivity. Because the potential for this next relationship is stability. The Queen of Pentacles, we've got someone who is stable here, someone who is nurturing, someone who's sure of herself. I think the potential for your next relationship, once you work through all of this, is that you are gonna feel content. You're gonna feel content. And I have a feeling that you're like, oh my God, yes, I would give anything right now to be content. I think sometimes with readings, you know, when we think of the word contentment, it's a positively valenced emotion, but it's quite low on arousal or activation, right? Sometimes, especially in like love or relationship readings, you want to hear, oh my God, you're going to be so excited. It's going to be fiery. It's going to be, I don't know, just like fireworks. But I think when you've been through something, you're like, I don't want fireworks, right? You're like, I've been dealing with gunfire. Like, I don't want fireworks. I want contentment. I want calm. I want peace. And so this next relationship, if you can listen to your intuition, right? If you can pursue something new, let go of this old stuff, contentment is where this relationship can lead. This next relationship or the new relationship, not whatever you're having to let go of right now. It's contentment. And yeah, again, if you've been through the trenches, you're like that, like literally that's what I want. Like peace, contentment, stability, to feel safe, to feel nurtured, to feel loved. Okay. So for the last card, we've got like, the low point or the potential for something that needs to be worked through. So we've got the Hierophant here. And the Hierophant can represent traditional structures. It can represent things like marriage. It also represents things like traditional like learning and teaching. So here we see like a yoga instructor teaching students. So it can also talk about like education and settings like that. But again, it's just more traditional things like traditionally how would we learn? Oh, we'd go to school. Traditionally in a relationship, like marriage is the traditional path, kids, etc. And so that potentially being something to work on. Let me think through this for a minute. First of all, there's a 5 here, another 5, and that's usually indicative of like change that's going on. And so I almost wonder if maybe that will just be, even though it's like I want contentment, I don't know if that's going to be a little bit of a struggle of like, oh, this is a traditional relationship where like, what? I'm loved and I don't have to do anything to earn love. I don't know if possibly that's going to be a struggle to like accept that, hey, no, if you want the traditional thing, marriage, family, etc., like you can have it. I just feel like you've been through a lot lately, and so I don't know if maybe this is just gonna feel a little foreign to you at first. I also kind of wonder though if maybe you or your partner will have a very traditional mindset or a traditional way of like handling things or disagreements, and you're like, okay, this actually isn't working. We need to figure out what works well for us, not what the psychology books say is how to handle a conflict as a couple. Like, I feel like it could be something like that, where it's more about figuring out what works for your guys' relationship, not what like the general like advice would be for just anybody. Let me pull a clarifying card for that one. Could we get a clarifying card for group 2? Hierophant being the low potential. Okay. So we've got the Hermit. I potentially think that maybe the two of you are just kind of like stuck in your ways a little bit, or you have a certain way of approaching things, and could be two things here. You have a certain way of approaching things, but now that you are together as a couple, you need to figure out what works for you both instead of just like what worked for you each individually as individuals. I think potentially though, this is saying trust that even if, again, like the traditional advice is one way, if you guys have a different way of like doing things, like you do know yourself. I know those are like opposite messages I just gave there, but use your discretion at the time to decipher what it is. Like I'm almost wondering if like, you know, let's say the traditional advice is like, never go to bed angry, but maybe both of you are people who need to process things like by yourself. Like you need to actually go away, process, and then come back together and talk. And so it's not that like, oh, we went to bed. It's not necessarily we went to bed angry with each other, but it's like, well, we didn't fully talk it out before bed, but it's because we both need to process separately before we come together. Even though that goes against like traditional marriage advice, like never go to bed angry. You're like, yeah, but it works better for us to do it in this other way. I'm more so getting that vibe here. So as you strive for contentment and stability, don't necessarily think that just because something is the general advice or what the psychologist in the book said or the psychology influencer said, if it doesn't work for you guys, like figure out what works for you guys. You are adults, you know yourself, you know who you are, and that's okay to deviate from that, because as we've got our other two cards here, right, this is a new chapter for you. This is a brand new chapter for you, right? We're starting with this Fool's energy. This is the beginning of the tarot. This is, hey, I'm ready for what the universe has for me. I'm on this new journey, right? We see we're closing doors. We're opening doors. We're closing doors. And it's going to lead to this place of positivity and contentment. We also had this Page of Swords here. I'm just really thinking that I feel like you're currently in a space where someone is using their words against you or to make you feel less than. And I think this new relationship is going to be a very positive change, because I think they're going to be like, I think they're going to be so lovey-dovey that you're almost like, okay, gosh, all the Swiftie references just keep coming to me. If you've heard the song So High School by Taylor Swift, it's like, I feel so high school every time I look at you. And just this joy of like this giddiness of like having this crush. And so I think this new relationship, they're just going to be like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Like, I think they're just going to say things like that I think is just very foreign to what you're used to. And you're almost like, oh my God, stop it. Like, I don't know. It just feels just such like an innocent love that they're just like, I need to tell you, I need to express this to you. And I think it's going to help you feel like your joyful self again. I wish I'd come up with more examples for this, but I just really think that it's going to be so healing. I think it's going to be basically the opposite of what you've had. Like if you've had someone tearing you down, or again, situations where you've just maybe had even self-talk of like, I'm not that joyful person anymore. I've gone through this big thing and like now I'm different. I think your new person, your new relationship is going to build you up. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be, I mean, like it could be like big ol' like pep talks, but I think it's also just going to be like the little things, like leaving a note in your lunch that just makes you smile, makes you feel like a kid again when like your parents would like leave you a note in your lunch. Or like, I don't know, maybe you get this random like voice note from them about, oh my God, this thing just happened. I need to tell you before I forget. Okay, can't wait to like gossip with you later. Like, I think there's just going to be very much that energy of like, you're my best friend. I love you. And I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm not afraid to say it. Oh my goodness. Group 2, I think you deserve a hug. You deserve a hug. I think you've been through a lot. But new beginnings are around the corner, and I think you feel it. I think you know it. I'm not saying that's going to make it any easier, but you've got to end things to have that new beginning. Okay, so lastly, I want to pull an animal oracle card, Spirit of the Animal Oracle. We talked about like who you are with this relationship, with this hummingbird, but now I want to get a card that represents your relationship together. So this might be a word of encouragement. This might be the energy being brought to the relationship. I shuffled them a little bit off camera, so now I'm just going to cut the deck. Okay, for group 2, message about their relationship, encouragement, or the energy that the two of them will bring together. Ooh, that's pretty. Unicorn, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light, abandon the darkness, go beyond the ordinary, and become the legendary. If that does not fit with this reading, I don't know what does. We need to, this relationship, I think this is both. You're going to abandon the darkness, and this relationship is going to help you let go of that past, whatever these hard times you've been going through. And it doesn't mean you have to like forget the hard times, but again, it's just saying like, let this light in. Don't let it take up so much of your headspace. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. I think again, this person is going to be so childlike and just talking to you, being excited to talk to you, their compliments for you. And it's going to make you feel like your joyous self again. You are a joy, you are a light in the world, and I think it's been dimmed lately. Again, whether due to a person or unfortunate circumstances that you or your family are going through. And I think the energy of this relationship, the magic of love surrounds you. You're going to feel so loved. And it's going to be renewing. It's going to transform you. It's going to help you see that light again. We have butterflies here as well, which represent that transformation. Yeah, I think this relationship is going to transform you in the best way. It's going to make you feel so loved. It's going to help you get through this rough time. Because let's be real, even when we like leave the rough time, there are still like lasting effects of it, right? And so even if you are doing the steps you need to take to leave it, it doesn't just mean like you forget it and you're healed, right? And so I think this new relationship is also going to just usher in even more healing surrounding this. It's gonna bring the light, it's gonna bring the beauty, it's gonna bring the love. It's gonna allow you to be that positive light in the world again. Oh my goodness, group 2. This is your reading. And I don't know, I hope it gave you some hope about what is to come. Things have been difficult, but there is magic. There are infinite possibilities around the corner. So I would just encourage you, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and seek peace, however you need to do that. If you can have quiet moments with yourself, that would be amazing. Even if you can like get out of the house for a minute and take a walk, or wake up a little bit early so that you have a few moments to yourself, whatever it might be, like you deserve it. And it's also what's going to help you find this relationship that, yes, you're going to do a lot of the work. The universe is going to help as well, but I think this person is also going to just really show you love. Alrighty. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. If you have not found your person yet, a couple weeks ago I did a reading all about your person's personality and then a reading on what makes you attractive to your person, so you can consider checking those out. You can also hype the video if you'd like. That is basically like positive word of mouth. telling YouTube, yes, I recommend this video to others. Alrighty, I hope group 2, you have a good day. I'm sending you hugs, love, just energy. I feel like you've been beaten down. So I am sending you energy and so much hope and love as you go through these next steps. All right, bye guys. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the owl as your oracle card, or you had me and the universe help choose for you, and you are Cancer, Gemini, Libra, or Scorpio, then this is your group. If you are not one of those signs, but you intuitively chose the owl, this is still your reading. This is just for people who don't love having to make this decision in their pick a card tarot readings. Now, I've been really intrigued by the last 2 groups. The oracle card ended up like being a theme of the reading. So we're gonna start by reading your oracle card, and then we're going to dive into discovering the potential for this relationship. So as I said in the intro, this is relevant for you whether you are currently in a relationship, in the early stages of dating, have your eye on someone, or are just like so single, have no one in mind. Either way, we're going to be talking about the energy you're bringing to the relationship, what you need to let go of, and the potential highs and lows of this relationship. So if you're not currently in one, this is talking about your future relationship. So let's start with this oracle. So we've got the owl, magic. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision. You can see through deception. Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up. Magic and wisdom are your birthright. So let's see how this is relevant to your reading today. We're going to do a 7-card tarot spread. So what does group 3 need to hear about the potential of their relationship? What does group 3 need to hear about the potential for their relationship? So it's gonna be card number 1, 2, since I grabbed 2, we're gonna go with it. 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy wanted to hop out. 7. Okay. We can pull clarifying cards as needed. I don't know how I feel about that right. Let's put it right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So first for your energy, we've got the Tower, King of Wands, Judgment, Justice. Wow, you have a lot of major arcana cards already. So these are big messages you need to hear. Okay, 5 of Cups. 2 of Wands and 10 of Cups. Okay, we might need to pull a clarifying card for this. Okay, so let's get started with the spread. So card number 1, this is your current relationship energy or the energy you're emitting around love and relationships. Okay, so a couple of things are coming to mind. One possibility is that you just, I almost feel like you're not in a state where you even want to be in a relationship right now. Like, I feel like love is or hasn't been a priority. I feel like if anything, you've been dismantling your own understanding of love or relationships. It's also possible you just had a relationship. Considering this owl card talked about deception, I'm wondering if someone like cheated on you and now you were in your Carrie Underwood before he cheats like era, where you're just like, oh, you're gonna do that? Okay, you're gonna hurt me in that way. Let me show you how much I can hurt you. like, I almost feel like you might be in that energy. If you have not been wronged recently, I still feel like your energy surrounding love is, you don't necessarily want the traditional. You're, again, dismantling your understanding or the way in which you perceive what love is, what love looks like, what your ideal relationship looks like. It's possible it's different from either what you've wanted in the past, right? Maybe you had that relationship and you're like, okay, actually that doesn't work for me. Or it's different than what you've seen modeled in your own life. And this could be either way, right? It could be like your parents are divorced and you're like, nope, I'm not going to be divorced. Or it could be, you know, you have a very traditional family and maybe, okay, I don't know. I feel like this is not going to apply to anyone, but like you want a sister-wife situation. I don't know. No judgment. Anyway, I just feel like your approach to love right now, the energy surrounding it is just like, you want something different from the traditional, or at least different than what you have been modeled in your life as being traditional. One of my friends, she comes from a culture where it's like the women and the girls in the family, they do the cooking and cleaning. You're there to serve the man. The man is the one with the education who works. The woman only does like home stuff. And she is now a woman who has like postgraduate degrees. She's been licensed in her career field. Like, she is like, that's like, I want a man who cooks for me. Like, I want to be the breadwinner. So it could be something like that as well. It's just, I think your approach to love is not either what's been modeled to you, what's traditional, or what you've maybe even grown up thinking, oh, like that's the way to do it. I think you're a bit feisty too. Like, I think you're a bit feisty, a bit mischievous. I kind of love that. Like, I think whoever comes into your life is, I think they're going to be like kind of taken aback, but like in a good way. And like, oh, they're a powerhouse. Like, okay, I like this. I like this. Okay. What love asks of me, we have got King of Wands energy. We might end up needing to clarify this. King of Wands energy is an energy that says, I make plans and I follow through with those plans. I also see the bigger picture versus being caught up in the little details. Okay, I mean, that's starting to make sense. So maybe this is asking you, as you're dating, don't get caught up with, you know, on the first date he was 5 minutes late, so therefore he doesn't care about me, and nope, red flag, we're done. Rather pay attention to, okay, he apologized and apparently there was an accident on the way and he couldn't text me because he was literally in traffic with an accident with police all around, right? Pay attention to, does this person's traits, does their experience, does their history, is this something that I want? Even if some of the little details maybe aren't what you typically go for, maybe they have a different eye color, height. I've said this before in videos, I do not want to be involved with someone who plays an instrument. It's more of a health thing for me. I have chronic migraine. I don't want to listen to music all the time. But also that's kind of a stupid reason not to date someone that they play an instrument, right? Because you could just have rules of like, hey, don't play it when I'm in the house with migraine, right? Like, that's easy enough. So don't get bogged down with those little details and ignore all of the great traits and qualities that this person has. If this person is stable, if they show up for the people in their life, who cares if they're a little bit shorter or a little bit taller than what you were expecting? Maybe they're a little younger and you usually go for a little older, or vice versa. But I think this card is asking you, as you approach love and relationships, don't get bogged down with the nitty-gritty details. And that's not saying ignore things. That's not saying ignore the little things, right? The little things add up in a relationship. But rather, again, if you're like, I want someone who drives a truck and then they drive a Prius, like, is that really reason to not date them when they're doing the thing that you wanted, which is to pick you up on a date, walk to your door, knock on your door, hand you flowers, take you out, open the car door? Like, really the thing that is making you drop this relationship is they drive a Prius instead of a truck? Or I might have said the vice versa, they drive a truck instead of a Prius, I don't know. So pay attention to their actions, their qualities, the broader picture, instead of, again, little things. Like, I almost wonder if you're like, my requirement is that my person has been in 2 long-term relationships so that they have learned how to be in a long-term relationship. And this person maybe has never been in a long-term relationship, but you know what? They're a wonderful person and they have all these wonderful qualities. So like, does it really matter that they don't have this arbitrary qualification that you, for some reason, think you want? And has that served you so far, having all these little requirements? I'm not sure. So this card is saying, pay attention to the bigger picture, not little rules that you have come up with that are completely arbitrary. The battery's gonna die. Let me switch this. I'll be right back. Hello. Okay. So next we have message from the universe. You have judgment here. Wow, in every single reading, by the way, I've had Taylor Swift lyrics pop into my head. What's popping into my head is, I think I've seen this film before and I didn't like the ending. I think you're getting a second chance at something. Now, this could be a couple things. This is literally a person that you have dated before. If you're not currently in a relationship, it could be this next relationship is someone that you either had a chance with or is from your past, is from your circle. It could be even you went on like one date, then were like, nah, or they asked you on a date and you were like, nah. But I kind of feel like there's history there. This could be, though, if you're currently in a relationship, I wonder if this is like a turning point for you guys where you're entering like chapter 2 of your relationship, or it's been so far like part 1 and now you're like, okay, part 2 with like this new energy. I think especially with your past, I again think you've been like bogged down by little like arbitrary rules, or like, can we focus, camera, please? Really? Okay, I think you've been bogged down by like arbitrary rules, or again, things that don't super matter. And so now I almost feel like this is your time. The universe is gonna like test you again. They're gonna send you someone who does not meet all these freaking little arbitrary things that really don't matter. And they're gonna see how you handle it this time. I don't know if you wanna hear that. So it might not be the same person as before, but I think it's gonna be a similar circumstance where the universe is like, hey, this man plays an instrument. Are you going to say that's a red flag and not even date him, even though he has all these wonderful qualities, or are you gonna give him a chance? But I think that's coming up. I think you're specifically going to be tested by being sent someone who previous you would have said absolutely not to. And it's gonna say, have you learned? Have you learned that maybe you don't know what is best for you? And I don't mean that in a way that's like ignoring your intuition. I do not mean that at all. But sometimes, you know, like if you ask a kid what's best for them, they're gonna say, oh, eating ice cream, right, for every meal. And it's like, no, that's actually not what's best for you. So I feel like this is again, more of like an arbitrary kind of lighthearted, maybe you want something and for some reason, and the universe is like, no, I'm giving you someone who is different, but trust that I know what is best for you. Trust that this is still going to be a fulfilling relationship. Trust that you are still going to be loved and cared for and fulfilled, even though it does not meet what you think you want in a relationship. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Action to take. We have got justice here. So, a few things. Justice can talk about approaching things like continuing to abide by our moral standard as we go through things, life scenarios, whatever. So I think this is saying, you know, as you go forward, as you are dating, or again, if this is maybe like a new chapter of your relationship or whatever, they don't, like when I'm saying like, oh, release these nitpicky things, I'm not saying change your personality. I'm not saying if you're attracted to someone, that's a red flag, or if you know there's zero attraction, still give them a chance. No, I'm not saying that. I am not of the belief that attraction can grow from zero. I think there has to be at least something there. And then attraction can grow. So I think on either end, just my personal feeling, either end, if you're so crazy attracted to them you can't think, or there's zero attraction, like I don't think either of those are good, right? So still continue being you, but with this awareness of, okay, I need to be balanced, right? I can't ignore all the positive qualities about somebody, all the wonderful things, all the things that do check the little boxes I have for myself. I can't ignore those because I don't like their hair color. Yeah, I think that's the big thing here, honestly. So like, don't change who you are, because, by the way, I do think this is coming soon with justice. This card is a card that's like, hey, things are about to happen. Okay. So I think either the shift in your relationship, if it's an existing relationship, or if you're not in a relationship yet, I think this person will come into your life soon. So yes, like, still be yourself, keep on keeping on, while understanding, okay, I need to have more of a balance and look at the bigger picture versus the necessarily, what am I just simply like physically attracted to in this moment? Make sure there is that emotional attraction. Make sure there is that stability. Make sure they're complementary to you. Yeah. Next, what to release? We've got 5 of Cups. I almost wonder if with the Tower, with this idea of judgment, with the 5 of Cups, I wonder if you've been in a headspace where you're like, screw relationships, but also because you're like, screw relationships, I'm never gonna have it, like what I want doesn't exist. Like, I wonder if on the outside, like, you're projecting this air of like, I don't need no man, I'm fine not being in a relationship, I don't want a relationship anyway, traditional love, that's dead, what is that, blah blah blah. But then I wonder if it's because you're secretly like, yeah, because I'm never gonna find it and it doesn't exist for me. And the universe is asking you to release this. The universe is saying, hey, I know we've got these 3 spilled cups right here, but if you just look around, there are 2 cups right here. There's balloons, there's a cat, there's food, there's a party going on. So the universe is saying, hey, I get it. It's been rough. You can grieve, you can cry, you can mourn, you can feel your feelings, okay? You will never see me on this channel being like, don't feel your feelings. No. Emotions are there for a reason. Feel them. At the same time, get out of this headspace that what you want doesn't exist, because it does exist. It might look a little bit different, but once you get on this path, you're gonna go, oh my God, like, wow, there really was a greater plan at play that if it were just up to me, like, I probably would have screwed up. But that's why you've got spirit guides, right? That's why you've got spirit guides. That's why you've got the universe. That's why you've got intuition. What's meant for you, you cannot screw up, right? So get out of this mindset that what you want doesn't exist. Get out of this mindset that you're asking for too much. Again, you might have to shift your thinking a bit. If you only want a 6'2", blonde-haired, green-eyed surfer boy who's a lawyer and has a trust fund, I don't know, I'm making stuff up, then like, yeah, I don't know that that is necessarily like what exists, right? But if you shift your mindset to, I want a partner who is financially stable, I want a partner who's ambitious, I want a partner who loves to talk to me, I want a partner who makes me feel loved and cared for, who listens to me, then you're going to actually see that there are people who fit that criteria. There are. So it's time to let go of the past, because pretty soon you are going to have another opportunity. It's great to feel feelings, but we need to know when it's time for them to take less space in our head and our hearts. So that's what the universe is asking you to do. Wow, pile 3. I don't know. I think you are feisty, and I think that I'm feeling feisty back, like giving you this advice. Like I feel like I feel like you are like a good friend of mine who I'm overseeing like get hurt, and I just so badly want you to have happiness that I'm like, look, I'm gonna talk straight to you. Like, this is what you need to do. That's how I am feeling right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we have got the potential for this relationship, and then also like a low potential or like weakness. And I'm so confused as to how the lowest potential is 10 of Cups, which is like what I would argue is like the best relationship card in the tarot deck. So I might pull some clarifying cards for that. But let's go to highest potential. We've got our 2 of Wands here. I think the potential for this next relationship is, I think you have someone who wants to give you the world. I've literally never said that as I've pulled this card before, but we have someone here who's literally holding the earth. They're holding a globe. And I think this person wants to give you that. Like, I think if you can get past the initial, they don't have the hair color, they don't have the job, they don't, I don't know, their laugh's kind of weird. Like, whatever it is, if you can get past that, I think this person, like, truly wants to give you the world and everything you want. I also think this could be related to, I think this person has big dreams, and if you have big dreams as well, I think you guys are going to dream together, but also then actually take the steps to like go for it. You've got 2 of Wands here, which is about planning. It's also about travel. It's about, okay, I've got this idea, but like, what are the next steps to make it happen? You also had the King of Wands here earlier, and this represents this like, hey, we carried these plans to fruition, and we're also able to see the bigger picture. And so I think with this relationship, you guys are going to have big dreams, and it might be something related to like a business or entrepreneurship. It might be a creative activity. It might be traveling. It might be moving. And so together, you guys are going to be able to accomplish that. You know, there's a lot of people who say that they want to travel, but then like, how many people actually do travel? And so I think this is a person who, it's like, yeah, so many people say they have dreams to do X, Y, and Z. They want to live a certain place. They want to have a second home or a house in the country. They want to go on an international vacation every other year, like whatever it is, right? And this person, like together, you guys are actually going to do it. And what I think is great is I think this thing that you are either like scared of or that you are so rejecting when it comes to like traditional relationships, whatever traditional means for you, I think you're going to be so refreshed that this person has the same mindset. I do. I think you guys are a good pair. I think you're a good match. I think that you are like, I don't want to live anywhere for more than 3 years. I don't want that. I don't want to be settled. I want to travel the world, never stop exploring. And they're like, bet, let's do it. Like, I will make that happen. How can we make that happen? Let's do it. And then you guys actually are going to do it, right? That King of Wands. So I think this person is very supportive. If you are like, again, whatever your fears are of relationships or traditional relationships, I think this person is like on board with you. They're on board with how you see things, and they want to give you what you want. Again, they want to give you the world here. They do. Okay, I'm quite intrigued by this. This Ten of Cups down here. Ten of Cups is like a beautiful, amazing card. It's about relational fulfillment. Ultimate relational fulfillment. On here, they do have a family, but if you don't want a family, which again, I feel like you're kind of non-traditional. If you don't want a family, that's okay. This is not saying, oh, worst case scenario, you're gonna have a family. Ten of Cups is just like relational fulfillment, whatever that means for you, whether that is you have a family of your own, your chosen family, your existing family, right? It could be animals. Can we get a clarifying card as to how the Ten of Cups is like a low point in the relationship? How is this like, well, the worst that can happen or a weak spot? Three of Swords. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, that's intriguing because I would argue this is the opposite of Ten of Cups. Three of Swords is like heartbreak, active heartbreak. Okay, so the Ten of Cups is a low point in the relationship because of the Three of Swords? Okay, hold on one second. Let me look at the spread. Okay, the weak spot in the relationship or an area that needs work. Okay. What I'm thinking for this is that this isn't necessarily like a low point in the relationship, but this is, in order to reach this like Ten of Cups, I'm super fulfilled feeling, I think work needs to be done with healing the hurt you guys have in the past. This could literally be like you've been in a relationship before and you need to like earn each other's trust back. Could be something like that. If this is an existing relationship and this is like a take two, there might be hurt from the past you guys need to work through. If you have not known this person in the past, then this might be individually, you both have had relationships that did not end well. And you need to figure out how to not bring it into this relationship because it could end up sabotaging you. At the beginning, I mentioned like maybe you've been cheated on, like I'm feeling like a Carrie Underwood before he cheats kind of vibe. So potentially like that's something you need to heal from. Or again, if you weren't cheated on, like, I don't know. I really do think though that there's something there where both of you have been hurt in past relationships. Could be from each other, could be from someone else. And so what I would recommend, I'm just a tarot reader on YouTube, but you guys could consider, if this is coming up and you're not able, like the hurt keeps coming up and you find that you're either like returning to old habits or you guys are hurting each other or you're like assuming things about the other person that like based on their behavior, you have no reason to assume this thing, but you're falling into old habits of how like other people have treated you or their behaviors, and vice versa too. It could be they're assuming things of you that you're like, I told you I was out with my girlfriends and that I would like call you tomorrow. So like, why are you mad that I didn't text you? And it's like, oh, because my ex like would say that when they would like cheat on me. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not your ex. I would consider like going to couples therapy and working through this. Sometimes the first therapist is not the right therapist as well, okay? So, but I think this might need like actual like formal help. I say this with love, but couples therapy, maybe reading books about like relationships, or again, like how to heal from past relationships. Because in order to reach total relational fulfillment with one another, like you need to work through this past pain. And this past pain, I think is due to romantic relationships. Because there are other cards in this deck that refer to like childhood wounds or hardships in life. I think you've had something, or your partner, you know, whether this is your future partner or current partner, I think you and this person have been wounded by your past relationships. And that makes sense, right? We learn what's harmful and then we try to avoid that in the future. But that doesn't always work because humans are different. And what one person said was always a lie. For someone else, it might be like, no, I'm literally just hanging out with my girlfriends. Literally just hanging out with my girlfriends. But for them, that might trigger, you know, a deep wound, a deep pain. So if you notice this coming up, where you guys are making assumptions about one another, this needs to be dealt with. So whether it's you guys are having conversations or you guys are reading books or seeking therapy, like I think it's not something that's going to work itself out on its own. Over time they'll trust me, I'll trust them. No, like I think you actually need to like attend to this, like focus on this, pay attention to this, put energy and effort into this. Okay. Yeah, so returning back to your oracle card. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision. You can see through deception. Let the past go and make room for a better life. I almost think it's like yourself that's like deceiving you. I almost think it's like for potentially both of you, but this card specifically, I think you. I think there might be some element of this like self-sabotage of like, again, making assumptions where no assumptions need to be made. Earlier I said something about like not really like trusting yourself. And again, that's not to say like don't trust your intuition. I kind of think you've been either like listening to voices. I kind of think you've been listening to voices that have been giving you bad advice, to be honest with you. I think possibly maybe you have a friend who's like, if he wanted to, he would. And is like giving no room for grace. And so now you've adopted that mindset and it's like actively like sabotaging you. And it's like yourself like deceiving you and making it seem like something's wrong when it's not. Or like, you can have everything you want. You want a blonde surfer dude who's a lawyer who has a trust fund? Like, don't settle until you get that. And it's like, okay, but those are all traits that like don't matter, right? Like, we want someone who is stable, who is caring, who is loving, who listens. And so I think you're almost being deceived by like, I don't know. I guess one message I have for you is like, be careful who you're surrounding yourself with, what they're telling you. And this could even be like podcasts. If you're listening to podcasts and you're feeling like you're becoming suspicious of the world after listening to it, then like maybe we don't listen to those anymore. If you've got people in your life who are not extending grace to anybody, that's not great. It's also not great to just like, if someone cheats on you, like, I don't think that's something you should forgive, but right, it shouldn't be one or the other where like everything slides versus like zero grace. And I think that's a message I've been getting a lot with this as well, is I feel a lot of like black and white thinking, all or nothing thinking. And I think your spirit guides are like, hey, we need to like move beyond this. You need to be more balanced. You need to look at the bigger picture of things before making decisions. And we need to stop deceiving ourselves, right? Let the past go and make room for a better life. Open your inner vision. We need to let this past go and welcome this better life in this 10 of Cups. Because your next relationship, this person, they want to give you the world. They do. And that potential is there. Interesting. Okay. I told you a moment ago that I really feel like this is like, we are friends and I'm telling you like some hard truths. So like that is what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like I'm saying this other friend that you have, they are so negative all of the time. Like no wonder you feel negative about everything and negative about relationships. I don't know. Okay. I now want to pull a Spirit of the Animal Oracle that represents your guys' relationship together. This could be a message of encouragement. This could be the energy that this relationship is bringing. But let's pull one. I shuffled it before the reading, so I'm just going to cut the deck. But what does group 3 need to hear about this relationship? Them and their partner. I'm not even kidding. Group 1 got this as well. Okay, Eagle Mastery. You're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. So again, I think this is just, I think it's echoing. I think you both are going to need to let go of this past, because if you do, by the way, you can have this 10 of Cups, this ultimate relational fulfillment. This ultimate relational fulfillment. Also, this idea of like your wisdom inspires the world, and then we literally had, they're holding the world there, and then with the King of Wands, he's looking at a map of the world. I almost wonder if you two are gonna be like a power couple. I don't know, you guys might be this power couple that like really has impact on the world, and I don't really know what that means now. That could be something like you guys end up having like a podcast that's really like revolutionary. You guys could have this business that makes an impact in your community. I don't know, maybe you guys, I don't know. But I think together, if you guys can work through your past, you're gonna make an impact. It's gonna be impactful not only for you both, right? You're gonna feel really fulfilled in life. You're gonna feel like your dreams are supported by one another and that you're accomplishing great things. But I think you're also going to, again, make this impact on the world. Whether it's with your community, with work, online. I don't know, like, I don't know if you guys maybe like, are you going to, oh, none of this is focusing now. I'll just keep pulling this up so something's focusing. You might have a nonprofit. You might do some volunteer thing in the community. One of you might coach something, or be a teacher and have like a lot of impact on the school through there. I don't know. I just think this relationship has the potential. Once you guys work through your things, it's not only good for you, but it's gonna be good for like everyone else that you guys are together. It's literally going to like benefit the world that you guys are together. You're that kind of power couple where the goodness that you can create just like multiplies with one another. Yeah, wow. Okay, pile 3 or group 3. If you enjoyed this reading, Or if you feel like it was something you needed to hear, please give it a thumbs up. You can hype this video if you think other people should hear it as well. Hyping is basically like positive word of mouth that tells YouTube, hey, I recommend this video to other people. I feel like this reading might have been something like you needed to hear, maybe not necessarily wanted to hear. So thank you for sitting through it if you did. If you liked this video, if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I do a video every week. The last couple weeks I did a reading on all about your person, what their personality is like. So if you are someone who is currently single, that can give you some insight. And then I also did a video about what your person finds attractive about you. And so that one is good whether you're in a relationship or not. Alrighty, group 3. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm curious to hear if you've got any self-reflective thoughts. Feel free to put it in the comments below. If not, I will see you guys next time. Bye.